them.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, I'm not making fun of you.
Oh no! Welcome.
No, the name really is
Two Fat Guys Pull Us, because we're two fat guys. Let's talk about our
pull lists of comic books.
Comics from our LCS.
That's it.
Welcome to episode 95? 95? 95.
What? 95?
I think it's 95.
But what?
Is it? Chat, let me know. Did I put 95? I can't remember.
You put 95, but it's
95.
Issue.
It's issue 95. Yes, issue episode 95. What up, Ronnie? What up, Patty? Let's get to it so that we can actually talk about this week, because we got some good books this week. Surprisingly, even though it's an itty bitty pull. But yeah, let's talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games here in the DFW area. That is our LCS, and they have a website, and their website is brainycomics.com. Let me pull it up here, make sure this is working properly. Oh, thank God. If you go to brainycomics.com, you can check out issue 95. Thank you, Patty. Yes, this is brainycomics.com. You can go there and you can buy exclusive variants, covers of comic books, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys, and collectibles, and even trading cards. So head on over to brainycomics.com, buy some stuff, right? Then after that, go into the search bar, type in Two Fat Guys Pull List, press enter, and this is going to pop up. And you're going to look at Two Fat Guys Pull List Upgrade and Two Fat Guys Pull List Premium Upgrade, one for $8, one for $15. You're probably asking, Jim, what do you get for $8? For $8, you get a mystery exclusive cover comic, or comic with a mystery exclusive cover. And those mystery exclusive covers can be anything that Ron has currently in the exclusive and variant cover section of the website. So, just using this for reference, these are the current ones, the most recent ones that Ron has, but you can dive deep into the exclusive variants and see all the ones that you may potentially get if you do a Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade or premium upgrade. If you do the premium upgrade, you have a potential, or you don't have a potential, you will get 2 exclusive variant cover books in your shopping cart and or what is delivered to you once you purchase and it is shipped to you. So head on over to brainycomics.com, check it out, buy some stuff, do the Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade. You will not regret it. Check it out today. The other piece of business that we have to talk about, as always, we are in the middle of a milestone giveaway. Currently, we are trying to get to 750 subscribers. When we do, we will be giving away this 9.4 CGC graded Silver Surfer Black second printing issue number 1, Null on the cover. Super sick cover. Check that out. Look at it even closer there. Look at that. So nice. So when we hit 750 subscribers, this is the book we'll be giving away. Currently, we are at 686, ladies and gentlemen, and it's all because of y'all. Because y'all are sharing out our stuff, you're liking, you're commenting, you're getting the algorithm going. We're posting stuff on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, so everybody's doing it. We're doing a great job. Also, I have to mention it, when we hit 1,000, which we would love to hit by the end of 2022. That's right, the CBCS graded 9.8.
I can't see it.
Amazing SpiderMan.
Huh? Oh, it's an original Sin book. Don't worry about it.
First appearance of Silk. So, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. You know you want to. We need your support. We can't do this without
Did you
y'all.
just drop it?
No, it's right here. I have it right here. Stop it, dude. We're giving it away. Okay, it's gonna happen.
Oh boy.
What remains to be seen is when we're gonna give it away.
Yes.
Anyway, that is the business for the week. Everybody in chat, what up, Rich? Let us know in the chat or into the comments if you're watching this as a past episode. Give us a grade for this week. Yes. What is your grade for the week of this week's pools? And let us know what was your pick of the week. We want to know. We want to talk about it. And then if you have any questions tonight, chat, that you want to be answered, any diehard or burning, yearning questions that you have about comics in general, throw it in the chat. Doesn't matter when. We'll try to answer it. Please. What'd you say?
Patty said, I'll throw it on the ground.
Throw it on the ground. All right. Let's get to this week. So my initial grade, without giving it away like what each book is, I'd give it a solid A-.
Okay.
A-.
I'm gonna go A- too. So I was debating between if there was something between a B+ and an A-, I would have chosen that.
Right.
But we'll go A-.
An ib.
An ib.
An eb, like AB. Eb,
yes.
like if you're.
Yes, I'll give it a.
An eb.
What is the character that's the A with the E connected to it? I'll give it one of those.
Are you talking math or what are you?
No, it's
some dead language.
Some human language.
Some human language. Got it. It's a dead language. Anyway, real quick, let's get into chat before we start. What up, everybody? Joe, I'll give this week an A- with Jane Foster Mighty Thor as my pick of the week. Good choice. This book keeps surprising me. I totally agree. I was late. Rich, I was late to get my pool listed this week. I haven't been able to read anything yet. Uh-oh. So we're going to be on mute the entire show for Rich. Throw it on the ground. Rich, I also had some issues with my pull list trying to figure out what I did wrong. I thought I had it. I get that, dude. Sometimes I just don't get that comic hub right.
Yeah, comic hub.
Kind of get weird. Patty, yes, I'm glad you said it how I meant it. No, of course, Patty. We know what you're talking about. Aaron Harvey. Oh, Elon Musk's kid.
Twins?
What?
Did you hear that? Did you hear he had twins?
Oh, we had twins. Yes, he did. So was that referenced in a book, or are we just talking about current events?
Try to keep up, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Rich, I hear that. Sometimes I'm so thrown off when doing my pull list, especially when it's online. Yeah, it can get a little wonky. All right, well, let's get to it. And we always start our week, our show, our issues with our X-Men books. And we're going to kick it off with Legion of X, issue number 3 from Cy Spurrier.
What happened? What happened in this book? I got confused.
I'm still confused. We're 3 issues in. I'm still confused. But then at the same time, a coffee mug's a lie because I'm the best dad. Anyway.
Sir, I'm the best dad to this particular baby.
Nah, dude. I am the best dad ever.
Okay, well, I don't think that's what this says, so I think you're confused.
Anyway, of course, I'm confused about this book, Legion of X. I'm confused, yet I'm still intrigued. Right? There's there's still something there that's like there's like the most smallest of slivers of like intrigue.
Like a small tugging sensation there.
Right. Yeah, if we want to go that way. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on in this book. We're still okay, so Iraqis are anti-gods. And so they're
anti-gods, or are they specifically against this god that's gotten free?
No, because they talked about it in the first issue or second issue.
You told me that, yeah.
Like they murder gods. Like they just
they don't even like Loki or Thor or anything like that. They're just like no.
Now that's part of the intrigue here that I think is building, like without it being said. And then we have this mix of what we were kind of promised, which is we're getting like vague representations of a mutant religion, of a Krakoan religion, right? Like very small excerpts, tidbits of mutant religion, And it's getting, if I'm being honest, very frustrating, because, again, what were we promised? Let me rephrase. We weren't promised, but it was just heavily implied that that's what we were going to be doing in the Krakoan era. And that's what that Nightcrawler was going to be doing in the Krakoa era, and we're not getting that yet.
No, we're not. Also, sorry.
Good.
Aaron corrected us. That AE characters, that's Elon's kid. Like it's that's his kid's name. When I was saying that, I didn't know that, so that's why it went. Woo.
Got it. Way over my head. In a SpaceX rocket to the moon.
Exactly. Well, just to subspace and then back.
Right, but they want to go. He could go to Mars.
Yeah, he's not going to do that.
Anyway.
Man, I don't know. I feel like in some ways we are kind of going there. Like, very much. It feels like Nightcrawler's like pushing that and like pushing the imagery of it. And I think he's pushing the like cohesive collective nature of religion more than he is like practicing religion. But like he's clearly using images, right? Like you see like here and stuff like that.
Let's just say this right now, that was beautiful. When I
that was what I was gonna say, but we'll just go ahead and do it. This book is gorgeous. Like the whole book, like we have tons of single or multi-page spreads that are just fantastic.
Oh yeah. Let me say this before you go. Yeah, like when I this book was not in my pull list. I realized it when I got to the store, and I was like, "Uh-oh, did I get a free pass? Like, am I just not going to pick this book up?" And I made the mistake of picking it up and going through the pages, and I was like, "Damn it!" Right? And there's like a scene, there's like a shattering part of glass where you see Apocalypse, and I was like, "Damn it, I'm buying it," And Calvin asks, "What is Legion of X about?" That's a very good question, and we're trying. Very good
question. And after 3 issues, I'm not 100% sure I can still tell you. I can tell you what they tell you it's about, and that's a group of quasi police people that are helping just kind of keep Krakoa together. Like, oh, you're kind of straying off. Like, let's bring him back in and trying to corral everyone. But what it has ended up being is 3 different odd stories about gods and bodily autonomy in like a very non-cohesive way.
Correct. And
yeah, I mean, we're 3 issues in, and I still have no idea where we're going.
We still don't have any idea where we're going, but clearly something big is happening in this book because, again, the Iraqis they kill gods, right? They kill gods like Thor. I'm not saying they've killed Thor. But it's heavily referenced in this issue that we may be getting a Loki appearance, and he's not safe, right? And I don't know, it's all over the place. And the big hook at the end is that there is a god that has escaped that I think we've seen. It's one of the new characters. I don't think it's a mutant. And she offered Legion in issue 2, or no, issue 1. It's either 1 or 2, essentially like a power upgrade, and he refused. And then in issue 2, she presented it to Banshee, who had just been revived from his skin being worn. Yeah. So in this issue we find out he takes it, and it's like a massive power upgrade. He looks badass. He's basically Banshee with a flaming skull head, so he's like a Ghost Rider.
He is a Ghost Rider Banshee.
And it looks fucking dope. Okay, so unfortunately, this book still has me intrigued, but I could not tell you for the life of me what the book is trying to achieve. I will say it feels like something big is going to happen in the book, and that's really the only reason why I'm picking it up. Am I going to be a fool for that? Probably. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance it's going to pan out or it's not going to work. Because I'm more leaning towards it's not going to work because we have been sitting here forever since these 3 issues saying Legion of X is on the fence. It's going away. It's probably going to get cut. And I'm sitting here today telling you it's on the fence, but I'm picking up issue 4.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think it's just because we are suckers for FOMO when it comes to
100%.
this era of X-Men.
When it's
mutants, we just gotta stay.
Yeah, and speaking of FOMO, we'll just jump right into Saber Tooth issue number 5. Let's just talk about it right now. Everybody in chat, who is currently reading Saber Tooth? In chat currently. Just let me know. Me and Nate had a very long pregame discussion about this book, just because I feel like we needed to get a sense and bearing of that's a dope cover. A sense and bearing of what this book is actually achieving and what Marvel Publishing is really presenting it as. Mm-hmm. This book is quite monumental to the entire Krakoan arc, right?
I think so. I think this is providing a viewpoint, a negative viewpoint, of Krakoa as a whole that we're not seeing anywhere else, unless there's a non-mutant book that's somehow been focusing on mutants, which I don't, there's not, but no one's really obviously it's like we're seeing Krakoa through rose-colored glasses, and those glasses are finally removed in Sabretooth. So my perspective is going to be a lot more positive than Jim's, because I read the first issue, was like, nah, no thanks, and then this week decided, okay, if the shop happens to have all of the issues, the 2 through 4 or 2 through 5, then fuck it, I'll get them. Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't have 3, but I still did it anyway. And then on my way home, or on my way back to work, I stopped at another shop and they had 3. So then I was like, okay, fuck, this is for sure happening. So I read all 5 issues today, this morning, back to back. Didn't pause. I read the first one and I was, that's pretty good. I read 2 and 3. I was like, I'm gonna take a break. But then when I finished 3, I was like, no, I guess I'll just read 4. And then when I finished 4, I was like, fuck, no, I gotta know. So I very much had a different reading experience than I think you did.
And my experience was choppy. My experience was this book I felt like was announced and then solicited. Like, it was announced without a solicitation date, and then we didn't hear anything about it. I remember it being announced right as, in the middle of King in Black, because we were sitting there going, well, what's Stegman going to do next? And Stegman was like, I'm doing covers. And it was, the first cover was Sabretooth number 1. Yeah. So that's when it was
announced. That would have been mid to late August, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
And so that was solicited in September for January. So wow, that's, it was delayed to March. Delayed to February.
So it just felt like we had really stretched again, this is my perspective. It just felt really stretched. And I was like, wait a minute, I've been wanting, one of the biggest questions we've been asking about the Krakoa age since Hickman established it was, what are we doing with Sabretooth? There's no way you're throwing him into the ground and we're just never going to hear from him until the very end of the Krakoa era, not Hickman's run, the Krakoa era, right? But at the time, we didn't know that Hickman was going to be off, so maybe the end of Hickman's run. And we just hadn't heard anything about it. And then this book gets announced, and we're like, oh, here we go. Oh, wait, it's not coming out for another 4 or 5 months. Oh, wait, it got pushed back another month. Mm-hmm. And it just felt very disconnected. The first issue opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, cool. We actually see the inner workings and dealings that Doug and Krakoa had with Sabretooth, right? Great. And then it felt like, I felt that between issues 1 and 5, again, I understand the buildup, I understand the story that's being built and the commentary that's being built, but overall, I felt very disconnected for me, right? Mm-hmm. But then there were these little sprinkles of hey, Krakoa's really not it's not the best as it's cracked up to be. It's not this heaven for mutants. It's corrupted, and there are people that are really shitty, most likely Professor X, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So that there's these little things in the book that are intriguing, but for me, I am just not as much as it works for the narrative of the book, I'm just not a big Saber Tooth fan. Like, how he was presented in the book in this iteration, in this, which we now found out is there's going to be like 3 mini series, and this is the first one.
Where'd you hear that?
Comic Book Herald.
I don't know if that's true.
Well,
he's been announced.
He's pretty spot on, because we've got the next mini, which has been teased at the end of this book. I guess the characterization for Sabretooth in this book, outside of him being a con man and always out for himself, I get that part. But I just felt like he was being more presented as this intellectual, and I just don't see him as that. I just see him as a thrasher. I see him as get out, pull the gun, pull the trigger, kill this person, ask questions later. Right? And that's just how I felt like he didn't feel like he was like that in this book.
Well, that's the point. Is like part of it is.
So I'm stupid. I get it.
No, I'm just saying that to me. I'm just saying that the reason why I think it is good is because that's the point. Is that we've taken this character that has been drilled into my head to be the pull the trigger, ask questions later guy. That finally he's like, he's like, listen, everybody for time immemorial, it's just forever thought of me as the brute, as the villain, as the idiot. He breaks his psyche into multiple pieces, and he says, like, look,
I know
I'm not this anymore. And it even shows that as he fractures more and he becomes this middle ground Sabretooth, even the beast gets more ferocious.
But it was all con.
But no, none of that was a con. That was literally a manifested representation of his psyche, of the way he thinks about himself.
Right, but at the end of it, he ended up just screwing everybody and got it out for himself.
Which is the smartest thing that he could have done the whole time. If he had tied in with all the rest of them, then he wouldn't have been safe.
Well, he's not safe at the end of the book either.
Well, but that's totally different circumstances. The whole point was to get out. He wouldn't have been able to get out if
he got out just to get back in.
Well, I thought this book was fantastic, and I'm speaking more of the entire miniseries than just this issue 5. But I thought it was spot on and an absolute breath of fresh air. Like, this is what we need. This is the like Professor X is like a bastard, and to think that some of what has been done, like some of the reasons why some of these people have gotten put in the pit is crazy. Like, it's not. It's definitely corrupted. So I want more of that. If we have to get that through Sabretooth and the Exiles or whatever, then okay. But I just want more of that. I want more of a, like, okay, let's quit looking at Krakoa through rose-colored glasses. Not everything is good. Like, that was issues 3 and 4 of this, I think, were actually better issues of the series because they focused more on the other pictures. When Mole was like, man, it's just kind of, no one ever really thinks about us. Like, we're just the outcasts that, well, we were welcomed here because they said, Krakoa's for all mutants, but like, we've repented for the bad things we did, but everyone kind of remembers that shit and just leaves us alone or ignores us. Like, we're the forgotten, we're the downtrodden, we're the scraps that Krakoa left behind, and we're being tasked and mandated by an unelected system of elite people telling us what we can and can't do. Right. Wow, is that not fucking tongue-in-cheek for what is going on right now?
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
No, and I like that. Don't get me wrong, like, I like that. I just wish it was delivered differently, I guess, is for me. Like, it's just not hitting as hard as it should for me. And like, those ideas, and I go back to it, and Last will probably pop in here in a minute and be like, you're totally right, Jim. But that concept, I feel like, has not been, I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. Like, and it's not the discussion we had prior. It has nothing to do with the creative, the writer, right? It has nothing to do with it, the concepts that he's trying to present. It has all to do with how this book was released and handled, and no one at Marvel or the X-Men office or whatever you want to call it editorially is not shouting to the rooftop saying, this book is necessary. the concepts that are being introduced will show or be the reasons for the cracks in the foundation of Krakoa. And that's frustrating because we've invested so much into these X-Men books. And if I had decided to sleep on this and then you were like, dude, I just read all 5, you got to get it now, I would have been like, you know what? I'll just let you do that. I'm good. Yeah. You know? And, Joe says it perfectly. I do agree this book is better read as a trade. The story is good, but forgettable as writing for each issue, especially with the big break they had. I felt...
See, this is this is what I closed it already, but I brought it up because Jim said this earlier too. He's like, "Oh, there's this massive break in between," and I'm curious what happened that made people feel that way because there wasn't.
You're right.
Issue 1 came out in February. Issue 2 came out in March. 3 in April. We missed May, and then June, issue 4 came out, and then 2 weeks later, issue 5 came out.
Right. I think what it
There's
is.
No delay.
But how many times have I said, man, I feel like I haven't read this book in forever, but it's only been a month. I think there's something to that, though. When you're reading it, I'm just saying.
I don't know. What can you do about that, though?
I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's the release. And now I'm moving needle more towards creative. If you're not writing a book, like look at it. You got the first issue and you're like, nah, not for me, right? And like the first issue is supposed to pack the punch where you're like, dude, on board. I'm doing it, no questions, right? Like we've had issues where like I think after issue 1 I was like, yeah, I'm on. Second issue was like, shit, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
Even though under our noses there were concepts that just are totally shattering the foundation of what Hickman started in 2019. And I think that's where I'm frustrated is however it was being delivered, even though there were only months in between certain issues, it felt like forever between it to the point where I couldn't connect the dots. Now, that being said, I will do my due diligence. I will go back and I will read this entire 5-issue mini in succession. Like I will read it all in one run, one read. I will do it so that I can maybe go, oh shit, I was wrong. I should have read this. Yeah.
I think all of the critiques are valid. But I also think that once it's all said and done, 10 or 15 years from now, when people are looking back at this age, at the Krakoan age of X-Men,
right?
I think this will be looked at as, this will be like, on Comic Book Herald's like essentials list on the ones you can keep and ones you can skip. This is going to be in the essentials list.
I don't disagree. Patty says Saber Tooth has always been a complex character. I can't argue it. I don't know. Stefan, what's up, guys? I missed Legion X breakdown. Do you guys have the spark or nah? I think we have like,
if we're hitting the flint and what is it? If we're hitting the flint, one singular spark. Somehow, just one tiny little.
Just like hit the. There's Last. There he is. He just missed all the hot takes. Joe also says I was hoping for the reason of the delay was him to return in Judgment Day. He'll be like Stone Cold coming out of the ground to help the X-Men as they fight the Eternals. I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of, I don't know. I think if you want my actual opinion, I feel like I know, Joe, I think the delay we're talking about is the made up delay. Here's what I was trying to say, Nate. It just literally popped up to me. Like you were saying, the whole point was, like, if we go back literally, how long has it been since Sabretooth actually went into the ground? Which was in 2019 of Hickman's run, right? Like, that's when he went into the ground. Issue 1, House of X.
Yeah.
Right? And we were always asking ourselves, during that run that we read, which we were late to, but we were even, like, as we were both kind of reading it at the same time, we were like, yeah, at some point he's coming out, right? Like, at some point he's coming out.
Yeah, it
right?
was still 2.5 years.
And then it was very prevalent through Hickman's run, and then as he left off after Inferno, we were like, well, he's coming now, like, right? I think that's the delay subconsciously that we're really talking about, right? Like, I feel like this book should have happened a year ago, like
maybe.
And I think it would hit harder. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm a crazy. What's up? I know I'm late, but Knights of X canceled at 5 issues, and Joshua Cassara is the new artist for the X-Men. Is he, or has it just been solicited for that issue, or has it been like announced that he will be doing it from now on?
That's what I do. I just am sad that Knights of X has been canceled. So it's been canceled at 5, but then Teeny's getting a book that follows Betsy that starts right after it. So like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing?
Here we go. This is the opinion I was waiting for. My opinion of Saber. This is last, by the way, so everybody knows. My opinion of why Saber Tooth was lackluster was because Jonathan Hickman had a legit story for him, and the new X Office didn't. As much as I try to get past Hickman, it's hard to get over the lack of quality. I knew this was coming. And
I don't think that that's a bad take.
I agree.
I think that they probably did have a plan for him. Sorry, I can't think of how to spell Kasara. I do think that no, I know, but I'm not in chat.
Copy and paste, my guy. No, last. I think you're spot on, dude. For this specific character, which again we just got done talking about how we just were like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? We've been waiting since Hickman put him in the ground, and then when it got announced, we were like, oh, it's happening. And then it was like, but nah, it's not gonna happen until January. Oh wait, never mind, February. You know, like it just it felt like they looked at Hickman's show, like, and again, this is all conjecture. This is all hearsay. This is all not even hearsay. This is just made up shit in my head. But in my brain, it was like they went back and looked at Hickman's notes that he left at his office, and you're like, oh yeah, we could use this. Wait, what are you doing over there?
Huh?
Wait, what are we doing in the summer? Oh yeah. Wait, but we got these shown. Okay, just delay the book and we'll rewrite it. Yeah. Like that's how it feels. I'm not saying that's what really happened, but that's what it feels like. So, have you figured it out? Have you dug in? Have you done the?
Yeah. He's taking over for sure.
Do I like his art? Remind me.
The original X-Force guy. I like his art very much. Also, he's been posting. He's been posting sketch practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and put you in the chat real quick. One thing he just was practicing drawing, a certain character he was drawing.
While it waits to pop up, I will look at it. Let's see here. What Joe says, damn, I hate canceling books. Not fair to the fan base that loves the series. It'll be nice if they just upload it on Unlimited and cut their costs.
Yeah, right.
Agreed. Lasso says, I know a lot of people like Jerry's run on X-Men. I can't say it was good because no new ground was made with the run. Like he still don't know Orcus's plan or Sentinel's planet updates. Is he still on the book?
Shit. Okay. I think through at least 15 he is.
Did you put that link in chat?
Yeah. No, not in chat. In the
Discord.
Discord.
All right. Give me a second, guys. Nate's gonna go away for a second.
It's really just for you because I know you're gonna squeal.
Oh! Oh no! If you can't tell, that is I don't have it properly on there, but that is Apocalypse. Oh my god! All right, cool. Let's get to the next book. We spent almost 30 minutes on this. It didn't work. It still didn't. Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm just kidding.
This is it.
Talk about Spider-Man.
Okay, so guys, if anyone else is reading Spider-Man and enjoying it, please in the chat jump in and let me know because
before you even start this, how is it the fact that you're talking about this book and I'm like, I'm gonna look at my phone?
That's my point. That's why I'm begging chat to help me like understand the error of your ways. Like you are the Spider-Man guy, and literally what has happened this week, I have picked up all of these Spider-Men, loved them, been reading them, and then I started reading back issues of JMS Spider-Man. Like what? I'm not Jim.
2 words.
So
you asked me why I'm not reading this. 2 words, and even though he's not even involved, Nick Spencer.
That's
quite literally, I know he quite literally killed Spider-Man for me.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Continue.
Okay, so Joe, thank you. Spider-Man is back. So I read issues 1 and 2, and there was it wasn't enough, and I was like, I'm dropping it for sure. And there just was something there that made me. There's something in the back of my head that said, "Go read issue 3." So I will I will admit that I just at work one day just straight up went and read it online and loved it so much that I bought the issue when I went to the store that day because it was so good. And then read issues 4, and then now we're officially adding it back to the show because it's so damn good. So Jim's gonna have to obviously be ruined of all of the reasons why this is so good.
You know that I like spoilers, so go ahead.
So issue 3 was so good because of Tombstone's monologue about, you know, how much of the people that we are because of our own decisions versus the things that happen to us while we're growing up. And I think that while there's no definitive answer to that, you know, question that he poses to Peter, like, I think it's a really good argument. And of course, he tricks Peter into thinking that that he is about to dress up a bunch of his guys in the uniform of the Rose and just go start massacring civilians in New York City. And Peter breaks out finally with the help of another of the Tombstone's goons who Spider-Man actually saved from a fire in the first issue. And he's like, this motherfucker saved me from a fire. Like, I'm not going to let you guys just shoot him in the head. And so he lets him go. And then Spider-Man jumps up to the safe house, sees all of these guys dressed in the Rose garb, and beats the absolute shit out of them until he finally gets to the guy that's dressed as the actual Rose, who, by the way, is Fisk's son. Beats the shit out of him, pulls his mask off, and is like, wait a minute, this is actually the Rose. Wait a minute, I'm actually in the Rose's hideout, and I just beat the shit out of all of his men for Tombstone for no reason. I just ended the turf war for Tombstone by literally decimating his ranks. So issue 5 is picking up with Spider-Man kind of having to come to terms with that. Also, him slinking home with his absolute brains beaten in. By the way, I think someone has already mentioned this. One of the things that has driven both Jim and I away from the book is the Jr. work, and of course. And I will just go ahead and flat out say, one of, if not the worst panel in all of professional comics I've ever seen in my entire life exists within this book. I will attempt to show it to you, but, you know, it's really hard when I show things. But this is Peter trying to climb in through his window.
Oh my god.
And his face is swollen, right?
Come down a little bit and come close to the cut. Oh
and
my...
his face is swollen, but, like, you can't tell. It looks like he's got a massive tumor. Like, it looks unnatural, it looks stupid, it makes no sense. It's literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely atrocious.
I need someone
The story is still good. The story is still good, and it's still worth it.
I need someone in the chat to ask this question because I think we can start a really good debate here. Anybody just type in the chat, but is Jr.'s artwork good? Please, someone type that in the chat.
Well, see, I didn't read Stefan's comment. He said, I enjoyed this. Yeah, there's some very odd panels of a beat up Peter. Not even a Jr. hater, but this is the most uncomfortable looking Peter I've ever witnessed. Yeah, I agree. Joe, I am coming to the dark side. Try to get Jim there too. Joe said, I wonder if that man isn't a debt collector. He's just got 1,500 and still lingering. Oh, right? I know. For ASM, I've been liking this run. Obviously, haven't read 5, but I like Tombstone in this a lot. Peter has not been as smart as he normally is. That makes me want to see how it goes. Rich, boy, is this issue for you, because that's exactly what happens. He finds a way to get even with Tombstone in a way. So the very, very beginning of this issue is showing what's his name? Oh, Digger, who's part of Rose's crew, is supposed to be going back to their safe house, and he went and got ice cream instead, and so he wasn't there when Spider-Man was there. And so he's like, oh shit, my boss is gonna kill me. And Spider-Man shows up later and is like, hey, I got a way that you can save your face, and, you know, Rose isn't gonna kill you. And he basically shows him where Tombstone is moving all of his new stuff. And so Digger busts in there and, like, destroys millions of dollars worth of crap for Tombstone. And while all of this is happening, Peter has broken into Tombstone's house and is, like, eating his snacks and, like, has some really, really good like super traditional Peter Parker quips and stuff. Yeah, just this issue is great. This run has been great. It's everything that I expect from a Spider-Man story. I expect a little bit of heart. I expect a little bit of social commentary. I expect a lot of humor and some good fighting. And you get all of that. You've gotten all of that from issues 3, 4, and 5. And I think they make up for the stumble that was issues 1 and 2.
This is okay. Go ahead. Sorry. No, go.
No, I was just going to say the worst thing is the junior art, is the JR art, and I think we just got to hold out. I think it's going to go away pretty quickly.
So I want to hash this out now because we've had many conversations about it. Now that we have chat here, and I want to get it down to a 60-second clip here.
Okay. But
let's just do this.
All right.
Is John Romita Jr.'s artwork? How do I say this? We know. Is it good? Is John Romita's artwork good?
No. Not anymore.
And should it be used? Should Marvel be going back to that well? Like, are we pandering to? And again, I'm sorry, Chad, if I'm offending anybody, but I'm just asking this question because it's just like, dude, are we pandering too much to the old school with this guy, or should we have somebody like, I don't know, a Daniel Warren Johnson on Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, shit. To compare those two is kind of unfair.
I'm sorry, Daniel Warren Johnson did a charity sketch, and I'm like, yo,
hey,
this is it.
Patty put it best. He isn't as good as he once was. Just like that country song, all right? Toby Keith. Okay. He wasn't as good as he once was. I don't think he deserves or really needs, there's not really a place for him in comics anymore. I think part of the reason is because he is part of an intense, highly respected, very long legacy between his father and him on not only Marvel Comics in general, but very specifically on Spider-Man. And so I think whether it's old hats, it's probably just old hats giving jobs to old hats, right? Like, that's just how business works. You know somebody, you've been in the business forever, you're going to keep getting jobs even if you don't deserve them. I think it sucks. I think that it's probably costing Marvel money because they got to be paying this guy a lot. I bet it's hurting their sales. But I'm saying all of that and telling you that you need to go buy this book. This book is good. You're going to regret not having it in your collection.
Okay, fine. I'll go buy it.
Because what's going to happen is it's going to be 3 years from now or 5 years from now. We're going to be celebrating, the issue 100 of the Zeb Wells run with a big event. And you're going to be looking at your floppy box and you're going to be missing 2 through 5. And you're going to be like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, I feel
and you're not going to be able to find them.
I'm just glad you called it my floppy box and not you're a floppy guy.
Hey, you've got a floppy box because you're a floppy guy.
Stop it. Anyway, Empire's like, no. His art isn't bad, but it's for certain consumers. No doubt. I just think you'd get more people reading the book if you had somebody else on it. Joe, I bet we won't know about this kids till Judgment Day Hellfire issue, no doubt. Last, we could have this conversation between Pepe, Romita, and Brett Booth, different extremes.
Yeah.
Stefan, it all depends on which artist can keep up with a double monthly book. Pepe or DWJ would require more time. Okay, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I would wait. I wouldn't care if it came out every 2 months. I would not question it if those books came out monthly, every 2 months. I don't care. The fact that they've put a standard on Spider-Man, it has to come out every 2 weeks. I think that's bananas. It's just. Sorry.
I don't mind that it's coming out every 2 weeks, but why not? We can alternate artists. Like, we've done that a ton of times on bi-weekly releases on Spider-Man, so I don't know why we can't do that. Empire said it's unfortunate. What artist gets worse with age unless their hands get injured? And I have 2 really good explanations for you. One, modern coloring is doing him no good. So I'm currently reading the JMS run from 2001, and it's John Romita Jr. on the art, and it's not good, but it's not nearly as bad. Part of it is because of the coloring. It's just, it fits his style more. And number 2 is 2001 or 1987 when he was doing other stuff is way different than in 2022. no one in 2022 is editing John Romita. When he turns in pages, you go, oh, here's Romita's pages. You give it to the inker and the colorist, and you move on. No one's looking at those pages and going, Romita, why the fuck do you got 50 shade lines on this dude's cheek? Why is that tumor coming out 6 inches from his face when his entire head circumference is only 4 inches? No one's correcting John Romita Jr. in 2022, and I think that's the problem, right? Like, no one should be above proper editing. Like, no one's that good. Pepe shouldn't be above that. Brett Booth shouldn't be above that. No one should be above that.
Well, and it's also a commentary on the fans. I mean, you've got people, and again, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I've heard many people that are loving this book and going like, God, I just love John Romita Jr.'s artwork, but you know, the coloring isn't doing this, and it's like, it's almost like they're making excuses when, like, I feel like they're like, no, it's time to move on. Like, it's time to move on. You know, like, thank you, Marvel, for giving me, you know, Spider-Man 2099 and X-Men Legends and all these things that bring me back to my heyday, but it's time to update. We don't have Stormbreaker artists for nothing, right? Put them on these books. RB Silva, put them on this book. Somebody, please. It's time. Stefan, that face is a horror story of the year. Last is something also that I really like. You know what's hard to balance is good writing and good art. Too good of art will keep the readers around, while too bad of art will, with good writing, makes readers leave. I kind of agree. I don't kind of agree. I agree with that, unfortunately.
All right, let's quit pooping on John Romita. He's still a good guy, I'm sure.
Sounds good. I will read the book. You got me. Yay. All right.
Oh, God. Fuck. Where's my phone?
It was actually good. I know. I understand. And the reason why I know you could give 2 fucks is because it's all about Captain America. Mm-hmm. This, I think we said it when this started. This is the book where Jason Aaron can be just stupid. He can be outrageous and explosive. And this, it happens in this book. I opened this book with such bias, dude, because of the shit we talked about his Avengers run. I opened this book and went like, this is it, right? This is going to be where I'm just not going to read it anymore. And then I read this damn book, and halfway through it, I was like, uh-oh, I'm starting to like it. Uh-oh. And he's doing it, dude. Like what we talked about in the Avengers book from the previous week. He is building this massive Marvel event that Marvel will announce, whether it's after Judgment Day or whatever. And it's going to be that there will be 1,000 iterations of every single Marvel or every single Avenger hero to combat this massive threat to Marvel. I'm not even going to say, because it's outside of 616. He's creating this giant event. And this book did it well, right? It actually showed what it was like. Ooh, that would be fun. This is kind of cool. There's a dog that's Steve Rogers. That's fucking stupid, but that's cool, right? Like Last just said it. This was just an odd, fun time. It was a silly goose time.
What Stefan said makes me way more intrigued because
that's in there too.
That is my favorite version of Steve Rogers, and you get that from the Philip Kennedy Johnson book, in Empire. So,
well, yeah, Death to the Military Industrial Complex. Steve Rogers is the best. Yes, this book had everything, and like when I was reading it, I was like, damn it, Nate should read this book. Is he going to? No, because he's over it, right?
Yeah. So, well, hold on. Calvin asked. He said, "You don't like Captain America." And it's not that I don't like Captain America. I'm very, very, very sensitive to nationalism and national pride. And so, like, a dude that's all about, like, flag and not like that. I know that's not the really, like, most...
That's not really him, yeah.
Most Steve Rogers is not a Bible-thumping, Republican-tooting sort of hail the flag sort of guy, but, like, it's still just... I'm really sensitive to it, so he's never been my favorite character. Also, when I read superheroes, I prefer for him to be extreme, and the dude's just like strong, and like I don't really give a shit about that. Now, Get me Sam Wilson Captain America, and I'm all fucking on board. Dude that can do all the stuff that Steve Rogers does, and he flies, and he's a cooler character. Totally on board. But Steve Rogers Captain, nah.
I'll tell you this, Nate. I think you should read. I really do think you should read this online. Give it a shot. I was totally surprised, and I'm like, when I read it and it got to the end, I was like, this is what you should be building. But when we keep on cutting in and out, and Avengers Forever has done a better job of it, obviously, because it's actually about the multiversal war that he's building. But when you splice it into Avengers and then we get ripped out of it to deal with something else, and then we go right back to it with no explanation, that's where I have a problem. That shit should be happening in this book. And it's like, he doesn't, it's almost like Marvel's like, you have this many pages, figure it the fuck out. And that sucks, because his Avengers Forever book feels more genuine to the idea that he's about to break out this massive event, whereas in Avengers, we just want Avengers. We just want Avengers. You know what I mean? And he's mixing the two, and I don't think it's working properly, because you don't know what kind of book you're going to get in Avengers. But in Avengers Forever, you know that you're going to get a silly goose time. Plain end of period, end of story, period. Where did I see that? Steven says Infinity Thing is going to clean out everything and get his own book. I pray to God that we get that book, because that character is actually really cool.
Yes, Patty, that is William H. Macy in Shameless, and it does look like him a lot.
Mm-hmm. What is this terrible slang?
Hey, we've been building. We're on issue 59 of Avengers. We've been building to this Mephisto war since way before.
Yeah.
Heroes Reborn. It was issue 22, I think. Whenever they did that intermediary issue, and then you see the Mephisto shit in Age of Khonshu. You see it all over the place.
I mean, it was the basis for his.
Even picks up part of. Who was it? Was it Ed Brisen's Ghost Rider where we saw Mephisto in prison in Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that shit. We've been on that for fucking
ever. But I will say, like, it's not been consistent, right? And I think we said this when Avengers Forever came out. It was like, this is the opportunity for Jason Aaron to be consistent with those ideas, and it be essentially happening in the background while he writes his Avengers, and he's really just taken the opportunity to zigzag between the two titles. And that's unfortunate, because Avengers Forever now feels more genuine than his actual Avengers run, and that sucks. So I was surprised that this was actually a really good. I thought it was good. All right, let's talk about Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, issue number 2. This is Patty's pick of the week. I'm all aboard. I'm just, this has been way better than I had ever expected, and I just can't believe that we just felt so just meh about it before it even came out.
Mm-hmm. Why did we do that?
I don't think we realized who was writing it. I think we just saw the cover of the first issue and we were like, out.
Yeah, I think as soon as I saw that once in a lifetime Stegman miss, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Nope. But no, this has been to me, this was my silly goose time of the week.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I thought it was really cool that you saw Jane chatting up Dr. Voodoo going to New Orleans and integrating Strange Academy into a story, especially in the same week that we were getting our last issue of Strange Academy. Which, by the way, at the end of Strange Academy, it says, "Don't worry, Volume 2 will be back out this summer." And we're like, "I'll bet you won't. We don't even know when it's coming out, and it's already summer."
Summer's like halfway through.
Also, I couldn't remember. Oh wait, never mind.
What?
I'll get there.
Okay. My question to you is, how are you feeling? With, I think this is Joe's. I'm sorry, Patty. Joe, I'm sorry. This is yours. Ugh, I feel horrible. How do you feel? How are you feeling? How are you processing Odin being in the Hammer? Or is it still bothering you?
No.
Are you digging it now?
It's tight.
It's tight.
I went from super negative to completely neutral. So
okay.
I think that's a big bump. If anything, right now I'm more bothered by when the fucking continuity is this happening, which is like not something that I usually get bothered by, but for some reason it's like listen, Thor's got 4 different things going on right now anyway. Do we need a 5th one? Yeah, we do, because the story's good, but like damn, like also like Thor getting stuck and being like a weak little nerd with like scrawny arms, like what? I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out. Grunbeck's gonna figure it out.
The whole war that's going on, I fucking love it. Like, I really enjoy Thor's supporting cast. I actually think I think I like Thor's supporting cast more than I do Thor. I would much rather read a book about Jane, Sif, and Bill than I would about Thor any day of the week.
I agree, unfortunately.
So that's why I enjoy this book a lot, is because they're the focal points. And then it turning out that somehow Limbo is leaking into Asgard.
Yep.
At first, I was like, I don't know. But then, as it's kind of sat with me for a little bit, I was like, I think this is pretty cool, because really what we have is like the normal plane of existence, right? Like normal Earth 616. And then you've got all these astral planes, or you've got all these other like very ambiguous other zones where you're like, you never can pinpoint, oh, well, like Limbo's over here, Asgard's right here, you know, Yggdrasil follows down this way. Like, it's all just like a way, and we get to pretend and play with it like Legos and then just kind of push it to the side. I do think it's cool that like the idea of multiple of these floating otherness are sort of smashing together now. That Limbo's somehow getting in the way and fucking up shit in the 10 realms.
Right.
Plus seeing Sim, a character that I only ever associate with not even just mutants, but like the new mutants. Seeing him on the future cover fighting with Jane, I think that's really cool.
Joe says, I love this book. I still don't like the way Thor is so damn skinny, and I'm not sold on them taking the god out of the god, and that's why he's so tiny, but everything else is awesome. I think Grunbeck will get to it. I haven't read anything from her yet that I was like, well, that didn't work. You know, like, it's always been like, I don't know what's quite going on here, but by the time I get to the last issue, oh, that's what's going on here. She's always looped it, you know, and it's frustrating at the beginning, but then she kind of just gets it where it needs to be by the end. So I've got faith. Joe says, "No, I'm down with the idea of Odin being in the Heimer." No, I like it too. Yeah, I do wish they made. I do wish they make Asgard a bigger place. I would like if they treat Asgard like they did Gotham.
I very much agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. In the next book we're talking about, Last Call's Strange Academy, is amazing, and it is his pick of the week. So let's just jump into it. Next up, we got Strange Academy issue number 18, and then we'll get into your DCs. I liked it, but again, how much time was there between issue 17 and 18?
6 months.
Was it 6 months? No, it wasn't 6 months.
Was
it?
I think March was the last time we got an issue.
Really? Wow.
March 9th.
Yikes.
Was the last time we got an issue. Yeah.
As much as that sucks, I am happy that we will at some point get a second arc to this, whether it's a new number 1 or semester 2. That being said, it felt a little anticlimactic in my opinion, but I like where it's going.
I thought it felt very climactic, but it just stopped at the top. There was no resolution, no nothing. It was just a like, join us next time, next year, next millennium, who knows? But when we come out eventually, like, maybe we'll resolve this shit. Maybe not. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. I was very frustrated by where it seemed like, all right, guy, like, you know, you could see editorial telling the team, don't worry about wrapping it up. Doesn't need a neat little bow. You guys are going to be back next season, no problem. And the issue is, I mean, we've been seeing in time forever, like with movies and TV shows and comics, But sometimes that doesn't happen even when we think it does, and you're left with something like that. Could you imagine if Strange Academy never gets picked up and this is the way that the show is over, or the series is over forever?
Yeah.
That would be awful. So in that context, this was a horrible issue. Outside of that context, knowing that we're getting more, this definitely hooked me big time, and I'm very much ready for. You didn't need to hook me, but like, I'm really, really interested to see where we're going with this new change with Emily, and I mean, we're really not even going to be the Strange Academy, right? Because we're going to be the two strange kids teams fighting against their factions. Yeah.
Well, here's my question to you: is will Strange be alive by the time this book comes back out?
Probably.
But I did like, the build of Emily and her, being corrupted. I think that's dope. I love the idea of like making these prophecies a reality. I think that's going to be the pop that Lass is looking for. It'll just be interesting how they execute it. And again, I stand by my statement. Whereas if Ramos was on SpiderMan, I'd wait. I would wait for that to happen. So I will wait for Strange Academy. I have no problem doing that because I know when it comes out, I'm going to quite literally lose my socks. So
and here's what you're saying. Could it work? You're saying that because Strange Academy is really on the most outer periphery of what's going on in the Marvel universe right now.
Mm-hmm.
If this book had ramifications for other shit, you would be like, nope, why are we delaying? I need this every month. And I think that you can't really expect that from an ASM. You can expect that on a Strange Academy. And I think, like, you're right. You and I will definitely wait. If you're gonna tell me Humberto Ramos is going to be on the book, but it's only coming out every 2 months, you and I are still saying, boom, sign us up. I think if they told you you're only getting Spider-Man every 2 months, but you're getting Humberto Ramos on it, I think you go, what's my option 2? Now, if they go John Romita Jr., you go, fuck it, give me the other guy.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm trying to say is, like, our current option is poo-poo.
Oh, that's the part where it's wrong, is you don't got a current option. They ain't asking you shit.
I know, but we need a current option, damn it. I don't want to... we just literally went back to that argument. All right, this is great. I'm happy. Let's go. Last, I forgot Strange was still dead. I strictly read Dan Slott run. Read Dan Slott and Spider-Man because of Ramos. I need to check that out. All right, let's jump into some DC. Yo, DC Williamson. No, hold on. Thank you for not ruining this issue.
Oh,
like everything was a surprise. Everything I had not read or had seen any panels from issue 2 of Dark Crisis. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but I genuinely had a good time reading it and not going, I've already read this. I liked it. Is it my pick of the week? No, but I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it felt very grandiose. The art was fantastic. Like it felt really well lit, and the action sequences were amazing. I don't feel like a ton happened here. It was just like the death of the Titans, and then no Titans died. And you're like, and the one Titan you thought died in the first issue, it turns out he didn't die. He's still alive, even though he took a bullet straight to the face. And so, like, I don't know, to me, it felt a little weak. Like, it felt like we progressed the plot. We didn't progress the plot really at all. I did find that what's his name? The main bad guy behind the scenes.
Phase.
Yeah, him.
Phase.
He's having some kind of, he's able to communicate with, Deathstroke, but
through the darkness.
But like, where did we start, and where did we end up? we started with the Titans, a building getting attacked, and the beginning of this issue being death to the Titans, and we ended with the
Don't kill him.
leaving and no one dead, and Black Adam showing up going, "Well, stupid punk kid, I told you couldn't do it, so now it's me, and I didn't want to do it, but now I got to do it. God damn it!"
Wait, when did Black Adam become a Southern Mississippi
Mr.
guy?
Chief?
Like, yeah. What?
That's just my angry voice.
Damn kids.
That's just how I imagine him talking to John. Is
No.
exasperated because he's a punk kid.
No, but basically he's going to turn them into killers, right? He's the superhero that kills, so everyone's going to start killing now.
Now, I will say, from this page to this page, from the Black Adam showing up, being like, "Fuck you guys, I'm taking over," to the space jailbreak with Kyle Rayner and all of the when I saw this page, I literally squealed. I was like, "Fuck yes!" Like, please, this is what I want.
I like it. I liked it, but again, this is where you need to tell me. And Joe, we'll get to your question because I think it's a really good question. In all of the Green Lantern that you read, does that fit?
What fit?
Like them showing up and all the Green Lanterns are there, and
yeah.
No, I'm just asking, like, because remember, all the batteries blew up, and then what? What got reestablished? How are they able to do that now?
John repowered him at the end of that run.
With what?
Remember, he was given the powers of a god.
Right, and then he died.
Yeah, but he died after he died at some ambiguous point after he repowered the battery and refixed.
No, that's what I'm asking. So he repowered the battery. He's not the power source.
No. He got everything back going. He basically did a little bit of a time boop, and was like, actually, that didn't happen. The whole world, the whole planet was instantly fixed, and everyone was back to regular.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so, that's all I needed a clarification. I'm not trying to spark any controversy. I'm it
totally makes sense. Everyone is there now. The thing that doesn't make sense is what's her name, Jessica Cruz, in a green suit, because the last we saw her, she was in a yellow suit because she wanted to destroy the Sinestro Corps from the inside. So maybe she's just putting that ring to the side for now. I don't know, but
sure.
Whatever. All right. Okay. What do we?
Let me get to this question. So Joe, with his first half of a random question, which is, I had a conversation this week about floppies versus digital books, and if comic shops will be the next Blockbuster and go under and everything with everything going online. What's y'all's thoughts?
Would you be good to read only online? I personally would not be good to read only online, or at least it would not be my preference. Like, if it was my literal only option, then okay, it's my only option. But I am a stickler for reading print, and that's not a comics thing. That's a reading thing. I don't read ebooks. I've literally read, I think, 2 books entirely on an ebook in my entire life, and I've read 1,000. Well, I don't read manga online at all. I will not read manga online.
And I think here's the other reason why I think we're floppy till we die. Is
okay? If I can't call you a floppy dude, you can't say we're floppy till we die.
Hear me out. The reason why we're floppy till we die is because the other thing that digital comics can't do that printed have, and this might be a dying thought, but it's something that we've grown into, which is that we're driving business for a comic shop, right? We're helping people out. 2, there is a sense of community when I walk in that door at that LCS to pick up my printed comics. I've met plenty of y'all that are watching the show right now at the store, and we have genuine conversations for longer than 2 minutes. We have hey, what books are you picking up? Oh, hey, I noticed you work at a brewery. How's it going over there? What do we talk about other things than besides just comics. We connect on those things. And I think you can't get that with digital. You can come here. Obviously, we're on a digital platform talking about our comic books, and we could do this show just as well that way. If the only way we could do is read these comics was digital, then yeah, we'd still be able to do the show. But I don't get to talk to my friends. I don't get to talk to this community in person if I didn't have this option of reading the book in print. And so I'll say it here. I'll say it proud. Floppies for life.
Yeah, you're floppy for life. All right.
You're floppy too, dude.
No, I 100% am. Patty said, "Team floppy till we die." Last said, "Physical versus digital is really more of a buyer's choice. Physical is mainly for collectors." And see, here's where I would say that I think maybe, at least, here's the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest deciding factors for me is price point. The fact that you're going to charge me anywhere near the same price that you're going to for a digital copy for something I don't own, that I can't physically hold in my hands. You're going to charge me the same price for something that's in print that I can hold, that I can eventually sell to someone else or pass down to my kids or something. Like, no. That's illogical. That is a totally ignorant business move. You should never, for any godforsaken reason, be selling any issue of a comic book for more than 99 cents for a digital copy. And I won't even entertain anything other than that. Like, it's just the fact that I can go buy this for $3.99 and it's got a digital code in it. Well, not see, but all my Marvel ones have got digital codes in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb, so dumb. No, if they were cheaper on books that I was hesitant on, I would start digital first. Maybe if it was 99 cents, but instead, I just won't pick the book up at all because I'm not paying you $5 for. It's just like NFTs to me, man. Like, like the second I heard about NFTs, I was like, nope, absolutely not, no.
Go check out Official Drip on Instagram. That's my NFT thing.
Yeah,
anyway, hold on. Rich says, for me, physical versus digital, I prefer to own my physical copy. I will read a digital comic and then go buy the physical book if I love the book.
If I love the book, yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing too: is like, I read digital. I don't buy digital, or I don't buy digital single issues. I do Marvel Unlimited. And I have no problem doing $10 a month for as much as I can possibly read at any given point, and that's because I can simply read more than I can afford. I can't afford right now to go buy the JMS omnibus that's sitting in my local shop's shelf, and I want it so fucking bad, but I'm already paying $10 a month. I can't, I'll go read it online instead of paying $125 for the Omni. If I was even a little bit more of a rich man, I wouldn't even read anything digital. I would just buy everything I wanted. But
now I'm going to read this other one, and this one is a quote, and I like it. Which is, well, actually, I'm going to wait. Last says, now physical kinda will go away because the rise in paper and comics rising in price as well. Listen, the fan base won't be paying for more Knights of X and X Corp garbage. Ronnie, physical for life. I still buy my video games physical as well. I get that. I mean, I don't have a PS5 anymore, so that doesn't, or PS4, so I don't do physical copies of games anymore. But with God of War about to come out, yeah. But I did want to read this comment, even though it is very old school, which Patty said. Where is it? Did you read this one, Nate? From Patty. Like Stan Lee allegedly said back in the day, you could see boobies on the internet, but to hold them is just a whole different experience.
Goddamn right. That's
and then also last, you brought up something that was over here, and it was actually about the book.
Yeah, it was actually about the book. So much.
About Dark Crisis. This was a fun book, but it wasn't giving me the tone I was looking for. Superman versus John, yes. Deathstroke versus Nightwing, yes. Green Lantern stuff was boring. Okay, I agree with both the first two. Cyborg Superman versus John I was like, yes, give me more. Like literally Metallica was playing when that fight was happening. Same thing with Deathstroke and Nightwing. I thought that was dope.
Did you see Aaron's comment? The deluxe hardcover of Strange Academy is coming out, but it's 12 issues, but it's only the first 6 issues done twice, once in color and once in black and white. and it's $75. And because what he was saying was, I've been baffled by everything they've done with Strange Academy this off and on in the releases. The fact that the issue advertises season 2 this summer, and we have no announcement, plus this deluxe hardcover. And I would also add on top of that that the collections we have had so far have been smaller than traditional trade paperbacks, like kid-sized trade paperbacks. And like, this isn't a book for kids. This shouldn't be in your children's section of your comic book store. It's not particularly gross or violent or abhorrent in any way, but like, this should not be in your kids section. Why make it the size of the kid books?
Yeah,
I don't know. I want it to be. Did you get rich? Should I be mad that this was not in my pool? They didn't have a cover A in the shop when I finally got there Friday. I mean, if you pulled it, I would be like, "Yo, bro, like, what's going on?"
Well, what? I don't see that one. Where is that?
It's up there.
Oh, okay. Let's keep moving. I liked that question though, and I dig. And again, if you have any random questions like that, please throw them in the show whenever you'd like. I love that shit. It's great. All right, let's talk about Batman issue 125 from Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. I'm gonna push the button, but am I gonna push the button that I want to push?
No, just for you.
For me.
That's Chip's pick of the week.
Yo, this book was the shit. I'm just saying, like, and it was not just Jorge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too easy to say this is my pick of the week because Jorge Jimenez's artwork was so good. It was.
Good.
But Chip Zdarsky, I remember reading preview pages from this book and I forgot about him. And then when I read the pages again, I was like, oh yeah, that's what happens. The best part, okay, besides the penguin thing, which undoubtedly was really cool. Hold on.
Oh. So show us his penguin.
Would you shut up? God. Put that in the bloopers. There are two things in this book. One is art and one is Zdarsky.
Hold on. I just thought of a crucial question.
Yeah?
Did you read the backup? You can't even call this book your pick of the week. You can't even read the backup. You can't even be bothered to read the backup. You paid $5 for this book.
So,
it's even written by Chip Zdarsky. You're a comic tool. I am so frustrated.
That's another short that I'm going to make for just YouTube. Anyway, so when he goes to the building, right, and the two people are in hostages, and the guy's like, he's like, get the fuck away or I'll kill them all. I swear to you. I swear to God. And then Batman's in there and he goes, not God. Not even close. And I was like, ah! Oh!
Have you ever seen the video of the little kid that's Batman and she's like, what do you want for breakfast, little Timmy? And he's like, justice.
Yeah, and then like chokes her out. Yeah, like that's exactly. And I was just like, this is the fucking vibe, dude.
That's exactly what I thought of. He's like, not God. Not even close.
Not even close. And then what else? There was okay. And then again, if you haven't read this book, please mute us, turn the monitor off, or read it, and then come back. The oh shit moment of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
oh yeah,
shot through the freaking throat, the jugulars, my guy.
Man.
I don't know, man. Okay, I'll go back and read it. I promise I'll go read it. I
don't know, man. I might need to change, man. Go ahead and
do I push it? Can I push it?
Yeah.
Sick.
That's the gas. Pick of the week.
What sucks about that? What sucks about this? No. And you can pick that other one as your pick of the week. But what sucks about this is that I'm pretty sure they have no copies left at the comic book store, so Lee has nothing to put up on our shelf.
All right, we'll hit it on this.
Yeah, I'll hit it for the other one. Yeah. But this book was fantastic. My only question, and it's not a criticism, I need some clarification, and I'm hoping you can give it to me, or somebody in chat can. Batman is framed for Penguin's murder, and he's kind of like, whatever. Pretty sure that's not going to happen. That's not a whatever moment.
Right. It's not
Fail safe.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I know it hasn't really been explained. Is that a Batman thing, or is that something coming after Batman?
Well, so exactly. So it's something in the old Batcave, and it seems like it's going to be because remember, Batcave is abandoned right now. He's not using it at all. So it's something that is. I mean, obviously, it seems to be coming after him, but it's something that has been there for a while because the whole issue starts out with in another time and with Alfred there, and he hears the thing beeping, but we don't know what it is.
Got it. So is it a failsafe that I'm assuming it's a failsafe that, and then this is all speculation, but it's a failsafe that Bruce set up in case if he went rogue, I guess, or like decided to start killing people?
Maybe. I mean,
whoa,
could be a good. Yeah, I think the failsafe is a failsafe that Batman set up, and now it's turning against him, and he forgot about it. He's gonna have to fight the failsafe he created.
Yo, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I'm 100. I'm 100 on this thing. I am on all aboard. I'm so happy. I don't think I ever really had any doubts for Chip. I knew he could do it, and I'm about it. I think this is, I'm so excited. And I think the thing that I'm going to be frustrated with is that after Dark Crisis, it's like, and now blah, 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 we'll be writing Batman after the Dark Crisis event. Like, I'm going to be pissed.
That's not going to happen.
Keep this guy on it for at least an omnibus, please.
Yeah, at least an omnibus.
Please,
okay.
too.
Did we answer Joe? Joe said,
No.
Joe said, I'm a floppy guy as well, but how long do you keep books with limited storage space? And the question is, I just get yelled at by my wife because I have too many comics.
So my answer would be, I recently did a DC clean out.
Oh. Yeah, you hate DC. You just are...
No, because there was some Marvel stuff in there too, but like I got rid of like all the Flash that we'd picked up, Suicide Squad, and that was all from like 2021. Yeah. Outside of like first appearances, my Harley Quinn. So like at certain points, I'll just be like, you know what, it's time to move. And sometimes I don't. The aspiration for me and Nate is obviously at some point we're going to, floppies or die, ride or die. We're gonna have our own shop at some point, and we're gonna basically use our collections to start up the back issue part of the shop. So, I have to be careful with what I get rid of because someday in the future, we'd love to do that. So that's kind of where how my books are determined and how they survive. So,
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
So Rich said, Patty said, finally, Nameless Goo #1 did his job properly, and holy cow, he didn't even miss.
No.
Yeah.
It was dope. Penguin.
Rich said Batman had to buy the retail incentive. Oh, you poor baby. You just had to buy it. No, that sucks that it wasn't in your pool. I wonder if they totally had a glitch in the system.
They may not have ordered enough, or they didn't get enough, because when I went in Tuesday,
I'm shocked that he didn't get enough copies of Batman, but maybe
got shorted, because when I went in on Tuesday, there was one copy left, and it was the fail-safe character design, and then he had a 1 in 25, no, a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, a 1 in 50, and a 1 in 100. So I think they tried to order enough, and they just got taken out.
Yeah, could be. Ronnie said, I had an off-topic question. Were you guys friends before the YouTube channel? How long have you guys known each other? 6 years now? 2016?
Yeah, 6 years.
We met working at a brewery that we both started at, that we helped open up and run. James is still there, and I have currently moved on to another brewery, but we worked together for five years.
Almost 6 years.
So, yeah.
And then in the middle of it, we were like, hey, let's go play some D&D. I'm like, okay. And then Nate found Collected, and then he was like, hey, have you heard about this thing called comics? And so that's just kind of how it...
Not how it went, but
no. And then
I was super obsessed with Star Wars at the time, reinvigorated, and I went to go pick up the Kylo Ren miniseries, And then while I was there, I saw a Joe Hill comic, and I'm a big horror fan, so I bought that. And then I saw there was a brand new Thor comic, and was like, well, if I'm ever going to read a Thor comic, might as well start at #1. And then I saw Far Sector #1, and it was written by N.K. Jemisin, which is my favorite author at the time. So,
and Thor, we got onto Thor. Like,
yeah, that's Thor.
We got on that train at the perfect time. Like, if we had missed it a week later, we would have been screwed. Yeah. And then we, obviously backtracked to Hickman, which was super fun to do. Like, hunting those comics was so much fun. What was the other one? Oh, Patty. Also, what a cosplay formal Batman. No, that is yeah, it's the best. Back to it, Joe. This was my pick of the week till I read Mighty Thor, but the flow of this book is amazing. And damn, Tim finally gets called off the bench and then gets shot.
Like, yo, Tim, you're up. He's like, fine, what?
I thought for some reason, because I remember reading like a tidbit of a spoiler that like Batman was going to be framed for murder, and like when that happened, and I was like, more than halfway through the issue, I was like, yo, Tim's gonna die. He's getting his own book.
Yeah, I think there has been hints that what happens in this book is going to lead up to his mini. So I mean, I think
that's cool.
Seeing that.
It was cool. What's cool is I just read Death of the Family, and reading this afterwards was a great combo.
Oh, I haven't read that.
Reminds me. Yeah, it reminds me of the Ultron or Brother Eye. I can't say I remember the thing. No, I see what you're saying. Failsafe is probably like Brother Eye, predecessor or evolution. Danny DeVito needs his royalty check for this. The Penguin is identical to his character he's played. I agree. Like, it literally looks like.
To me, that is like the perfect Penguin too. Like,
yeah,
quintessential. But yeah, I mean, for those that haven't seen it, look at that panel. That is Danny DeVito 101 right there.
Empire. Oh my G. Oh my God. I totally go to your comic store. Which collected do you guys go to? The Arlington or Fort Worth location? Fort Worth.
Yes,
off of Altamere. Hopefully we get to meet Empire. I had a glitch one time, and the shop bought in a omnibus of Captain Britain.
Ooh.
All the UK books collected, and I was like, damn, I'll take it, but it took another week to add to my budget. I get that. All right, let's move to forwards. We've got Poison Ivy. Let me know how this was, because am I a fool for picking this book up?
I wouldn't say you're a fool. I thought it was pretty good. It's a B to B plus. I'm not sure exactly like what direction we're going here.
Mm-hmm.
So in some, I said this on the first issue. In some ways, I'm a little disappointed because I really liked the redemption of Poison Ivy. I thought it was cool, kind of getting to see maybe her and maybe her and Harley Quinn doing a little bit of a team up book for good, and maybe they, I don't know, get into shenanigans that aren't so savory that Batman's like, god damn it, these girls. But like, I don't know, that seemed fun. Like, that seemed like a fun direction, and obviously we're going very much the opposite.
Okay.
Like she's out here murking some people, like hardcore. This issue was a lot of fun because she didn't really kill a lot of people. It was much more of like a little character study of her. So she's like sitting in a diner, and this other girl is like, oh, hey, the diner's full. Like, do you mind if I sit down with you?
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out she's like a struggling poet, like traveling the country and like all these different people in this diner. And the reason why, what is her name? Patsy or Patty, or I can't remember her real name. The reason why she's sitting there is because she wants to infect all these, because this is like a middle of nowhere diner. Of course, all these people are just going to go back to their homes, spread everywhere. Mm-hmm. She wants to get them just tiny bit barely sick with the spores, so it won't manifest for a couple days, and she can really spread out her carnage.
Yikes.
But it turns out last minute that she like starts kind of liking these people and doesn't really want to do it. So the only people that she Pamela, yes, thank you. The only two people that she ends up taking out are the two cops that bust in, that are trying to actually can't remember if they're trying to arrest her or the poet, because when they walk in, they both bust in with their guns drawn, and both her and the poet, like, oh shit, they found me, and then they do the SpiderMan, like, you? No, you? Like,
no, you.
And then Ted was like, nah, I got this shit, and kills them, and is like, run, like, get out of here. And so, it's, she's not quite sure if she wants to go down this path fully or not, or she's trying to reintegrate with the Green and find this queen-like power and status that she had right there at the end of Fear State. I'm not sure exactly what the intention is here, but I like the character enough, I like the writer enough, and I really enjoy the art. So
you gonna keep going?
I think we keep going just to see where we go, where we end up. Cool. I don't know that it's really going to have much consequence going down the line, but I don't know. It's a character I don't know very much about that I would like to know more about. So why not just jump on now?
Agreed. All right, tell me about the closet. Just as good?
Very good. I wouldn't say it was quite as good as the first issue.
Mm-hmm. Am I pushing this button?
Well, you already pushed the both. Let's do it. Yeah, sure. Whatever. This is my.
Lee needs to put some. She's got to put something on the shelf until we get a second printing of Batman.
Put this on the shelf. Yes, Pamela. Always thought she should have had a few issues with something. Yeah, and they keep calling it the Green. I don't know if that's a normal thing or a new thing, but so issue 2 of the closet. The family is moving to the Pacific Northwest, and Dad decides, well, when you move cross country, you should do the drive. Like, you don't just fly there; you do the drive, and that's part of the experience. And so him and his kiddo are doing the cross country drive, while Mom has already flown to Oregon and is starting to work. And the issue starts with the dad apologizing to his son, but you don't know why he's apologizing. And the implication is that it had to do with the monster, but you don't know for sure. And they finally pull up to this house that's like in the middle of nowhere, and it turns out it's the dad's friend that lives out in the middle of nowhere, and they're staying with him for the night to sleep before they do the rest of the trip. And, they hang out for a while and play with the kiddo, and then the kiddo's like, the dad's like, all right, it's time to go to bed. The kid's like, well, you're not coming to bed? And he's like, well, no, I haven't seen my friend in a long time. We're going to stay up and talk for a while. And the kid's like, no, you promised me that I wouldn't have to sleep alone. You promised me. And he's like, you're not going to. I'm going to sleep in here, but I'm not coming to bed right now. And the kid's like, that's fucking out, but all right.
You bitch, yeah.
He's like, okay, straight. Like, now you showing me that I can't trust you. And really, this part is the part that hits me the most. Is the scariest part of this book is seeing this dad fuck this kid up. Like, it's not the monster that's fucking this kid up. It's the dad, like, being a shitty dad. And I really, that's why I like this book so much, and I said it the first issue, is that really we're getting two different horror stories. A very realistic horror story of a piece of shit father ruining his son, and a literal monster in a kid's closet. So most of this issue takes place with just the dad and his friend sitting around a fire in the back drinking beer, and they're talking. And I mean, literally 12 pages of just back and forth of them. We don't cut to the kid for 12 pages. We don't do anything else. It's just back and forth, slice of life, them having a conversation. Turns out the dad had an affair, and the dad's friend is calling him out for it. And we're just kind of really getting a picture of this dad as like just not a good guy. Not a good guy, never really wanted to be a dad, not good at being a dad. And then we cut back to the kid. And of course, the kid, being scared, sees the monster again. And he runs away screaming and tries to scream for his dad. But when he tries to scream, he has no voice. He can't scream at all. And so you get this panel of him seeing his dad and the friend out there by the fire. And he's just slamming on the door and he's screaming to try to get help. And they don't ever notice him. And then the very last page is the monster dragging him into the dark.
No, dude.
So
Nope.
You've got real horror, and then of course our preview cover for the next issue is this.
Fuck off, dude! Stop it! I'm about to go to bed.
Man, it's a really good issue, and yeah, Tinian is on the absolute undisputed master of horror comics right now. Doing it in a lot of different levels, and is doing it in a way that this particular way is like super. I don't know. It's super unsettling to me. As a newer father, I only have one kid, a 2-year-old. Like the idea that I'm doing something that could
don't even start like
it up forever, like that's horror. Like that's real horror right there. Like that scares me way more than a monster in the closet ever does, and the monster in the closet scares me.
Yeah, I'm about to go give both my boys a kiss on the head before I go back downstairs.
Anyway, yeah, if you're a horror fan, you definitely should be picking this one up. I think it's an oversized issue. It's like 38 pages, no ads, and still $3.99.
Joe, I know y'all are big mutant fans. I'll suggest go read Black Panther before Judgment Day. Storm is like a co-star of this arc, and I can see Wakanda being a dark horse in Judgment Day event. We read 3 issues, and then we jumped out. No, 4 issues. It was right as she was getting introduced, and it was kind of like, wait, what's going on? So maybe we need to jump back into that. Rich, as for putting stuff on the shelf, maybe y'all could do a separate pick of the week for DC, Indie, and Marvel. We usually do when there is something. Just Marvel this week didn't really have anything. I mean,
I would put Saber Tooth in there or ASM, either one. I think I would put, if I had to choose, I'd put ASM, Batman, Closet.
All right, there you go, Lee. Batman, ASM, Closet. Those are our picks of the week, even though I didn't read ASM.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, well, hey guys, that is going to do it for issue 95 or episode 95 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. Everybody, I say this every week, every live show. We could not do the show without y'all, and y'all are just bringing the heat, man. You're giving us the questions. You're giving us, y'all are engaging us with chat. I mean, our show, when we first started the show, we were on Twitch, and we had 2 people watching us, and they would just watch us. They wouldn't say anything to us, and I'm sure one of them was my computer. So, y'all are killing it. Thank you so much for showing up every week and talking to us and listening to us rant about comics and things that really don't really matter. But at least we can kind of escape and talk about these things and not really worry about what's going on outside of our walls, outside of our houses for at least a couple hours. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. We're on that road. We're trying to get to 750 subscribers and then obviously on to 1,000. We will hit it, guys. We promise. Get ready for New Comic Book Day, Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is so beefy.
So much X-Books.
Next week's live show will definitely be and then you guys throw in a random question because we are going to be hitting it quick because I think we have
5
20.
X-Books.
How many books do we have in total, though? It's 25?
No, it's not that much.
21.
I have 15, and I think you have 3 I don't have. Oh, but I have 3 you don't have, so...
Correct.
21?
21 books. So there will definitely be... Yeah, there will be some quick ones. So be prepared for that. And then obviously let us know, is there something that we're... if we're going too quick, let us know next week. But Joe, thank you for the random questions. Those things were dope. That definitely helps me pick out some stuff for TikTok and Instagram and all of our socials, which, by the way, if you're not following us on TikTok, go over to TikTok and look up for Two Fat Guys Pull List. Our Professor X video that I put up 2 weeks ago is currently at 12,000 views. It's insane. I mean, that's not massive compared to other people's, but that's pretty big for us.
Patty, I don't know about that. Don't give him any ideas.
I already edited it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
We didn't. I literally uploaded it today, so it's already kind of been done. But I might be able to throw Beefy in there. We'll see. But guys, killing it, guys, killing it. So we'll catch you guys live next Sunday. Obviously, we'll see you for New Comic Book Day, and then if any breaking comic book news happens, we will be the first not really, but we'll get something out there if anything happens. I'm sure we'll get some announcements here fairly soon, and we won't get a very stagnant solicitation either this week or next week. We can actually make a video about it. But as always, guys, stay safe, be kind to one another, and as always, read more comics, fam. We'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys. Oh, I gotta read this. Aaron, great show, guys. It's hard for me to engage as I don't really get to read weeklies because of the distance from my LCS I mentioned earlier, but I still love hearing the talk and engaging when I can. Aaron, we appreciate you. Yeah, man. We're just glad you're here. So, again, appreciate every one of y'all. Share the show. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.